All right, guys, just going to share my thoughts real quick on this Roe v. versus Wade being overturned, where now abortion is banned and going to be a criminal act in several states. And I'm just going to go ahead and give my thoughts upon that and let you know how I feel about it. And I'm just going to try to stick to the facts because really, at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right? I mean, all of this hyperbole you see going on right now from the left, all of this sensationalizing of what actually happened and over exaggerations that they always do whenever they lose something, right? Whenever they lose something, they just take it to the extreme. It's insane. I mean, I remember when Trump got elected, and they were literally running around in the streets in LA and SF going, going up to black people going, he's going to put you back in chains. He's going to put you back on the plantation and all this. It's just ridiculous at this point. So I'm going to try to just stick to the facts here and just give my personal opinion on that based on the facts and based on my experience being a professional pickup artist and seeing what abortion has done to the world and to the dating landscape. So if you didn't already know, the Roe versus Wade that gave women the legal right to abort their babies has now been overturned. So it is now illegal if they decide to do that in certain states. Okay, and this is where the hyperbole starts, because these chicks are acting like, oh my gosh, you can't get abortion anywhere anymore. It's all over. Oh, the patriarchy. This is why we should have destroyed it. And it's like, no, biatch. You can still get an abortion if you want to, just not in certain states, right? I'm in California. They haven't banned them here. I mean, even Gruesome Newsom got on to telly and used this as an opportunity to round up more support for his next campaign and tell women that he's determined to protect women's right to choose. Unbelievable. That guy is such a snake. I mean, I have not seen really any leftist politician that is not a snake in the grass, is just not a complete weasel. And he's definitely one of them. So he's already on there, doing the rounds. Regardless, you have a lot of women out there, speaking of hyperbole, because I was just doing a live stream on my IG. If you're not following me yet, we were talking about this all yesterday on my live IG. A lot of guys loved it. Follow me at Matt Cross Official on Instagram. Do that now. But I did a live stream yesterday because a lot of guys had questions about this. How do you feel about it? And I told them, watch out for the over-exaggeration of it all. I mean, I already see people like certain chicks and certain blue check marks all over social media posting the fact like, if she gets raped, if it's incest, oh my gosh, she's doomed. Well, let's stick with the facts. Again, she could easily go to another state to abort that baby, and I understand under those circumstances, right? If she was raped or it happened through incest, I do understand. So, I do have sympathy for those cases. And again, you can easily go to another state. Now, when it comes to rape and incest, what they are not telling you, if you go look it up, if you just Google this, I mean, the first result should be USA Today, which is a leftist news media. They have the statistics. You know how many abortions are caused by rape and incest? Less than 1%. Okay? Less than 1%. By incest, it's 0.005%. But a lot of the woke media wants you to believe that like 75% of the rape or incest, that's why they have to abort these babies. No. It's less than 1%. Do your research. I did. Okay? It is less than 1%. For incest, 0.005%. Now, with that said, the majority of women getting abortions, we're talking 99%. And this is based on statistics. I ain't spreading hyperbole. This is based on the statistics. 99% of women getting abortions are simply doing it because it's an inconvenience, because they were irresponsible and impulsive when they had sex. And you know who these chicks are having sex with? It's not the nice guys. What have I told you guys? What have you learned here on my 33 secrets? It ain't the nice guys. It ain't the beta brads. It ain't the beta provisioners. It's not, definitely not the simps. They're banging the Pookies, the Chads, the Tyrones of the world, right? They're banging these bad boys. These guys that ghost them, flake on them, don't call them back, have no intention of having a relationship with them, much less marrying them off. They're just basically some side chick, right? Stick them in their situationship, the one of the many that they have going on, and then impregnate the girl and be like, oh, sorry, see you later, see ya, wouldn't want to be ya. And then these girls go and need to abort this child now. So it's not like a bunch of helpless women out there who are just mugged by some guy who inseminated her with his sperm and now she's pregnant. Oh my goodness. That's less than 1%. And I do feel for those women. Like I said, I have sympathy for them and I understand if they have to abort the baby. I completely understand, right? Because it was done out of force. However, 99% of these chicks who are going to abort their babies are simply doing it because it's just too much of an inconvenience. I have a dating rotation. I'm banging like 3 or 4 other guys. That's the reason why. Okay, these aren't married women. You notice that? These aren't married women going to these abortion clinics asking the doctor to help her abort the baby. No. You know why? Because women who are in marriages and who are in healthy relationships with a good man and who weren't irresponsible and who weren't impulsive and who weren't slutting around out there, guess what? Those chicks have the baby because they have a man, they have a family, they have a house, they have shelter, they usually live by schools, they live in the suburbs, and it makes sense, right? So they are not going to abort the child, right? I mean, I have a younger brother and sister who were born when I was, me and my brother were teenagers, and my mom had a choice to abort them, and she did think about it. She thought about it for a second, and then she decided she couldn't do it. You know, even though she was older at that age and she just wanted to move on with her life, she already raised me and my siblings. She was like, I can't do it, you know, and I'm going to have them, and you're going to have a younger brother, and then or a younger sister, and then I had a younger brother. So regardless, yeah, and the reason why my mom made that decision is because she, she had my dad, right? They're married. They did things the right way. Unlike modern women of today, they're just out there. Again, this is why I mentioned I'm a professional pickup artist, so I see these women out there, and I hear all the stories, see them around later, right? It's always the same story, too. I mean, these chicks are they're never ugly. They're actually, pretty attractive, pretty cute, have no problem getting any man they want. These are the type of chicks that decide they reject marriage, they pursue their corporate career, they glom onto feminism, they give the finger to all the nice guys who want to be good to them and want to treat them well and all this, and then they go out there and bang the bad boys. Okay, they ignore like the 97% of nice guys of the world to purposely go out there and find the 3% of dicks that are complete jerks that are going to, do them wrong. And they hook up with those guys, bang those dudes, thinking that they could land that dude. And then the dude drops them. And usually the reason why is because they're shopping outside their price range. So you get these girls who are like a 6 in looks trying to get a guy who's an 8 or 9. Guy might bang them, right? He might do that. She's not that bad looking. She's kind of cute. Sure. But he is not going to wife her up, much less make her his girlfriend. But these chicks are all sold on a pipe dream because all society does to these women nowadays, fellas, is lie to them. That's all they do. That's all society does, is lie to these women. They don't want to tell them the truth. The only ones telling the truth are really our community, right? The manosphere. And I noticed the women who follow us, the women who follow me, the women who subscribe to the manosphere and watch the videos, thank you very much for your female support. I do appreciate that, are usually good women. Right? Most of them are married, and even the ones who aren't married, they might have just not have had this information growing up. Now they do. They're not bitter about it. They're like, they agree, and they're hoping that we could save other women, right? And prevent this from happening to other women. So regardless, I mean, they want to act like a lot of these chicks who need abortions are these like helpless little, creatures that, they can't do for themselves. This is why I say like we treat women as if they're disabled in a wheelchair, or they're infants, right? They're not. They're grown adults. They know what they're doing. When these chicks are out there, if you were to go out with me, I mean, and see these chicks in action, because I've red pilled a lot of blue pill dudes who were once woke, and once they started going out and they took my boot camp, and they might have become friends of mine, and they started going out with me regularly, they saw the truth, and they were like, ugh, they're like, ugh, had that red pill raised. Like, shoot, I've been lied to. And I'm like, don't worry. Who's been lied to the most? Women, right? Women. So I wanted to get that out of the way. Like, who is actually getting these abortions? You have to understand the type of person who's getting these. It's not, the girl next door. It's not the good girl who's trying to find that high value guy in her 20s so she could get married and have a family. It's not the traditional conservative girl. No, these are generally leftists, liberals, feministas, but overwhelmingly just chicks who are on the road to becoming the DG. Because I always say you have two choices as a female in your 20s. You could A, ride the carousel, or B, decide to get married. All of those women who are choosing to ride the carousel, these are the women that are now freaked out about the fact that abortion is becoming illegal. Okay, this is the demographic that the mainstream is trying to prevent from being exposed. But as a professional dating coach, pickup artist, I'm out in these venues left and right 4 to 5 times per week, and I've seen many of these hot girls who have just thousands of these orbiters in their friend zone that they completely ignore, guys that want to marry them off, do the right thing, wait to have sex until they get married. I mean, just very good guys, great jobs. They're like, nope, too responsible. That's boring. I want the jobless loser who's constantly playing video games all day and smoking weed and has no life going on, but he's hot and he bangs lots of women. He bangs my friends. I want to bang him too. And then she gets pregnant by this guy, and then next thing you know, she's crying about getting an abortion. Right? So let me jump into that. Now, how do I feel about this being overturned personally as a pickup artist? Am I for this? Am I against it? And I will say just bluntly that I was pleased, right, when they overturned it. The reason why, right? It has, not keeping religion out of it because I'm Catholic, keeping politics out of it because I'm neither left or right. I always look at things through the lens of, does this make the world a better place or a more dangerous place? If it makes the world a more dangerous place, all bets are off. I say don't do it. If it's going to make the world a safer place, then I'm like, yes, do that. And by them overturning and making abortions illegal, right, in certain states, it's, again, it's available in other states, but by them making the move towards that, because Roe versus Wade was unconstitutional to begin with, right? It was never constitutional. So I don't know how it was passed by this judge. He just kind of like slid it through. This is the same thing happened back in 2008 with, I remember we had like the gay marriage thing. So that they put that to ballot, and the voters, actually in 2008, the voters voted against it. I was in California. California voted against gay marriage, which was, pretty interesting because I was like, okay, wow, California voted against it, and we're supposed to be super liberal. And what happened? A judge came in and overturned the whole thing. Of course, it was a gay judge. Overturned the whole thing because he didn't like it. He thought it was hateful. He didn't like it. So he overturned the will of the people and just did whatever he liked. And he overturned it and he made it legal. So, he should have been arrested. He should have been thrown in, prison for doing that. It's like, where are our rights as voters? We don't get them. So anyway, he overturned that. But getting back to my point, I always think, like, does this make the world a better place or a worse place? And by women running around out there, having sex with random men, and I say this as a professional pickup artist, having sex with random men, riding the carousel, does not make the world a better place. It does not make the world a safer place. Instead, it makes the world a more dangerous place. A place that is more demoralized and immoral, sexually immoral, perverted. And this is why you see so many sexual perversions going on now. I mean, they're trying to teach kids about sex that are, like barely first grade. I mean, I didn't even think about like holding a girl's hand till around like third or fourth grade. The last thing I would have thought of sex, I would have been like, gross. So you see how this plays out. But regardless, women just running around out there, loosey-goosey, riding the carousel, is not going to make for a better society. Okay, this is not going to help humanity. Okay, it's not going to, bring us to a better place as humans, right? Because if you look through civilization, throughout history, and I once thought about majoring in history. I've always been fascinated by history, right? A lot of the civilizations that ended up self-destructing, it always started with the women becoming more unchaste. Okay, that essentially means that the more women started slutting around, having sex out of marriage, just being, promiscuous, the more that society self-destructed. Okay, so as I get older, if we really want to be hardcore about this, and bring religion into it, you're not supposed to have sex. You shouldn't be having sex, especially as a female. You shouldn't be having sex out of marriage, because if you get pregnant, guess what? You end up becoming a single mom. That is not good for society, right? And then some guys, like some dummy in the comments, might be like, well, you're just going to create more single moms. If you don't allow abortion, just more single moms running around there. It's like, no, A, there's adoption, but B, you're missing the point. You shouldn't be having, like, for a woman, you shouldn't be having sex if you're not in a committed relationship with a man that you're married to. Essentially, that's the best environment for humanity, for the entire world. And of course, I'm being completely hypocritical because, I'm guilty of sin here, but as I grow older, I get wiser, and, I do regret a lot of things that I've done in the past. And, looking at this thing being overturned, it's going to make the world a better place, right? Why? Because women will be a lot more, if anything, women will be a lot more careful, if we could use that word, a lot more careful and a little more hesitant to just let some dude raw dog her, some bad boy just go up inside of her and impregnate her. She'll be careful, because she'll be like, oh, wait, the next state over that I could get an abortion in is, I don't have the money to go there, or, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. She might just choose abstinence instead. And that's really what these chicks should be choosing if they really want to, keep themselves from being in a position where they have to abort that child. Just choose abstinence, right? And I'm saying that. That's really what you're supposed to do till you find the man that you're going to marry. That's, in a perfect world, and of course, I'm idealizing here, but in a perfect world, that's what we should be doing. And the last thing we should allow is just women to run around out there, just doing whatever they want, and then crying about it later. Because, if you look at this and what's happening, these women are now crying in the streets. Right? I had a boot camp last night, man. These chicks were like blocking the intersection of one of these streets that fortunately I didn't have to go on. And I hear from my folks in San Francisco that, don't come anytime soon because they're like going nuts downtown and they're blocking the streets. So I'm not even surprised, because when you actually force women to take any accountability or responsibility whatsoever, they just go postal, right? They just lose their minds. They have complete meltdowns. And you see it happening now. I mean, these chicks are just all over the streets freaking out about this because they want rights without responsibilities. They're like, I want the right to choose. I want the right to choose to, yeah, that fire engine's coming from it. There's always like a freaking fire engine around here, and you could hear it for miles. It's so annoying. But either way, they're like, I want the right to choose, but I don't want the responsibility. What? I'm a woman, man. What year are you living? 1950s? I don't need to take a responsibility. That's archaic. So that's what these women essentially want, is they want, there we go. It's almost like Vegas, like these fire hydrants driving by. But anyway, that's what women want. They want to have the rights without the responsibilities. Okay? And that's just not how life works. That's just not reality. It's like, if you want rights, you got to take on the responsibilities, because you know who does that? Men, right? Men. We have to take on the responsibilities. And you know what? If something's unconstitutional and we lose the right to it, we don't go crying in the streets about it. Right? We don't go like blocking intersections. And that's the thing I can't stand about, these chicks and, the woke mob. It's like, if they don't get their way, even if they legally don't get their way, they just turn into complete spoiled brats, crybabies. They piss on everyone else's day, block intersections. I mean, people have to get places. The left is completely narcissistic, right? The whole woke movement is all narcissistic, because it's like, I want what I want. I don't care what you want. I want what I want. And you have to understand that A, it's unconstitutional what you want. And B, you know what? There are two people in this equation, or two sides in this equation. And it's not just about you. It's not just about you. And this is why so many people have moved more right. I mean, even I have. I never thought I would. And I was like, I've always been capitalistic, but now I've even moved more right. I don't think I'll ever move all the way, but I like to stay in the middle. But even I have, because I'm like, this is just nonsense. It has to stop. These people need to be stopped, because every time you don't get your way and you just go in the streets and, destroy businesses and public, private property and vandalize, yeah, you should not have any rights at all. You should not be allowed to do that, right? And it's against the law. So, and they even leaked this thing too. Whoever leaked this thing originally, and they were threatening to kill one of the judges or something, they should all be held accountable, because that's not how, a peaceful society is going to operate. That's the beginning of the end if that's the way things are going to roll, right? But I only see really the left doing this, and anytime they don't get their way, they just cry, because they were raised to respond like that when they don't get their way. We're talking about, the participation trophy generation here. This is how they're raised, to be spoiled brats. So of course they're going to act out when they don't get their way. Like if you spoil the crap out of your child, and then one day he wants ice cream, you go, no, you had ice cream yesterday. It's not good for your teeth. That's why there's so many memes about them now, right? And they're hilarious, right? And they can't see the joke, right? But regardless, those are my thoughts on this, guys. I think this is a great thing, because it forces women, A, to take accountability, B, to be more careful, and C, to rethink. Should I be letting these bad boys just raw dog me like this, irresponsibly, and impregnate me, and leave me with the task of having to find a state that allows abortion, and have to go through all those hoops and barrels to do that? Maybe I should close my legs once in a while. Maybe I should get off the carousel. Maybe I should stop being a Jezebel. And maybe I should take some self-accountability instead of getting on social media and posting all these memes that are complete straw man arguments about how now people who are raped and have incest won't be able to get abortions at all. Oh my goodness, this is the end of the world. And oh, the patriarchy. Oh my gosh, look at these men. No, again, you have to look at it through the lens of, does it make the world a better place, or does it make it the world a more dangerous place? And women running around out there, again, just having sex with multiple dudes does not make for a better world. Okay. And not to mention, these chicks are all having sex with the same 20% of dudes. Okay. As you guys know, I mean, even look at the online statistics. 80% of the women on these dating apps are going after the same 20% of guys. 80% of the women out there that are single, riding the carousel, not choosing not to get married, chase their corporate career, all those 80% of women are banging the same 20% of dudes. So, and then as taxpayers, we have to fund this nonsense. I don't think so, man. Not on my dime, not on my watch. Right? If you want to go bang these dudes and let them just go up inside you without protection and all this, and you get pregnant, hey, that's on you, right? That's on you. That's something that you need to deal with now. But I believe that hopefully it's not going to prevent all of them, probably won't even prevent most of them, but a few will be more careful at least. At least a few more will be careful. And maybe rethink the fact that they've been sold on this lie that they shouldn't get married and men are oppressive, and I'm just gonna, get my doctorate degree and then worried about getting married in my 30s or 40s. Yeah, maybe they'll rethink that and they'll stop being, so juvenile about this and really think about, what could happen if they do something like that. Not be so impulsive, not be so irresponsible. Because like I said, it ain't married women out there who cares about this. I mean, married women are down with it. They support this. It's just all of the 304s of the world, all of the Jezebels, all of the carousel riders, all of the chicks who are in these situationships, all of the chicks who are in the, who are side chicks, all of the chicks who are basically banging the same 20% of guys. Right? And the men are responsible too. I know some dummy in the comments like, oh, what about the men? It takes two to tango. One thing you'll learn is that women are the gatekeepers of sex. We can't say that enough. Women decide who they let between their legs. Guys don't decide that, women do. Right? For a woman to have sex, it's as easy as her walking down the street. It's that easy for her to have sex, especially if she's the least bit good looking. For a guy, you could be a 9 or a 10 in looks. You could be a male model. You can't just walk down the street and have sex with who you want. You still have to prove yourself. You have to work on your finances. You have to eat right, your diet, your fitness. You have to live in the right neighborhood, drive the right car, have the right amount of money in your bank account, have the right job. I mean, go to the right school just to even have a chance to get laid. Whereas women, you could be a complete loser. You could be a terrible person with no personality. You could be blind, right? I mean, if you look hot, you're going to have your choice in men. You could have sex like that. That's why you're held to a different standard that men are. That's why that double standard exists. Okay? It's because sex for you is very easy. And when you lack impulse control, and you just go out and sleep around, you have to take responsibility for that. Okay? Especially when you guys are all banging the same 20% of dudes. Give me a break with this. Give me a break. The funny thing is, I don't even really see these hotties who are like on the carousel, these Jezebels out there protesting. It's just like, look at these images, guys. It's like a bunch of these really gnarly 49er, past their prime, 50, 60-year-old feminists that I don't even think have been laid in decades. I'm like, it's always these chicks coming out in full force, banging on about rights. And like the actual chicks who are actually getting these abortions, these like semi-hotties, they're not going, I don't see them out there. It's just all these chicks with big mouths that, can't hang on to a man, 60 and single, don't have a husband, so the government has become their husband because really these are the only chicks who are banging on about this. A chick who doesn't have a man, so she's miserable, and the government has become her daddy, her man, her husband. That's why these chicks, it's so sad. I mean, the government is like is like a husband to them. I mean, that's their family. That's why they glom onto Big Daddy government so much. It's so sad, man. It's like you've been brainwashed so hardcore that you're not even human anymore. I mean, you're just like this cyborg that is, in love with the Matrix, not even a real person. So really, really sad. But I mean, at the end of the day, these chicks, it's not about rights. Don't be fooled for a second. You know what this is about, guys? As it always is when it comes to the woke mob and these chicks, it's about power. They could care less about these rights. They could care less about really anything if it doesn't feed them more power, but the second it takes away just a small ounce of their power, oh my god, look out. They'll be out in the streets in full force, flipping out and just completely losing it and having all these meltdowns, and then we'll have new memes. So as always, guys, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Let me know your thoughts on this Roe v. versus Wade being overturned. If you're one of my female haters and you want to say something below, go ahead and drop your criticism below. I implore you to try to do it without any personal attacks, ad hominems, character attacks. They don't like my sunglasses, my shirt. Why are you sitting in your car? Because you're just not proving your point, right? And I want to stick to the argument. All right. I mean, really, you're just showcasing that you don't have any facts. So drop your comments below and let me know what you think about this and anything I had to share tonight. If you'd like to retort, whatever. But like I said, guys, this isn't about rights. It's about power. And don't let them hit you with that straw man that, about the rape and incest, because you could easily Google that and find many statistics from many leftist sites, right, that will tell you that it's less than 1%. The overwhelming majority, 99%, are these women who are loosey-goosey, who can't keep their legs closed and usually have, a few dozen partners, or if not a few hundred thousand miles between their vaginal odometer. So drop your comments below. Make sure you smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new to 33 Secrets. I pump out a lot of brand new coaching videos here all the time, and you want to get wind of them, because I'm not here to lie to people, lie to women. I'm here to tell them the truth, right? And that was my point earlier. It's like all society does is lie to these women. They don't want to tell them the truth because women don't want to hear the truth. They want to continue to be lied to. But here, we tell them the truth. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, and if you want to support my work, jump into 7 Months of Mastery, son. Click the link below, take you over to my website. You can get signed up right now. It's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons. It's the best way to support me. I don't do Patreon or anything like that. Just jump into 7 Months of Mastery, and you're going to learn a ton about game, pickup, and we do it from a red pill perspective. So it's, it's not the old mystery method we teach here. This is the new 2022 2.0 red pill pickup. So learn it, get into my program, and I'll see you in my next coaching video.